Imagine planting 50 trees in a single afternoon. Not in 2 days, not in a whole weekend, just a few hours. Sounds impossible, right? But landscapers and farmers do this all the time using a simple tool called an earth auger. Now here's the interesting part. Most people who try using one for the first time actually plant trees the wrong way. The hole is wrong, the soil is wrong, and the tree struggles to grow. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to use an earth auger properly so you can plant trees faster, easier, and in a way that actually helps them grow. Alright, so if you've ever tried planting trees with just a shovel, you already know the struggle. You dig one hole, you're tired. 2 holes, your back starts complaining. By the 3rd one, you're thinking, why did I even start this? That's exactly why tools like earth augers exist. Farmers, landscapers, and gardeners use them to drill perfect holes in the soil within seconds. But here's the thing, using an auger correctly makes a huge difference in how well the tree grows. So let's walk through the right way to use an earth auger for planting trees quickly and safely. Alright, before we start drilling holes everywhere, there's literally something really important you should always do first. Check the ground. I know it sounds obvious, but this step prevents a lot of problems. First, take a moment to look at the soil condition. If the ground is extremely dry and hard, drilling can be more difficult. Sometimes lightly watering the area beforehand can help soften the soil and make drilling smoother. Next, watch out for rocks and debris in the soil. Small stones usually aren't a problem, but large buried rocks can stop the auger suddenly and make the tool harder to control. And here's another thing many people forget. Always be aware of what might be under the ground. Underground irrigation lines, cables, or pipes can exist in some landscapes. Knowing the area beforehand helps you avoid damaging anything important. Also, take a quick look around the site for tree spacing. Giving trees enough room between each planting hole allows them to grow without competing too heavily for sunlight and nutrients. This preparation step might take a few minutes, but it makes the actual planting process much smoother. And honestly, a little preparation here saves a lot of frustration later. Now we get to the part everyone is curious about, actually using the auger. When starting the tool, always hold it firmly with both hands and keep your stance balanced. Even though augers are designed to be manageable, the spinning bit still has power behind it. Once the auger is running, position the tip of the bit exactly where you want the hole. Then slowly lower it into the soil. Here's the key tip most professionals follow. Don't force the auger downward. Let the rotating blade pull itself into the ground. When you try to push too hard, the bit can jam against compact soil or rocks, which makes drilling harder and less controlled. As the auger drills deeper, it will bring soil up along the spiral blade. Every few seconds, lift the bit slightly to allow loose soil to clear out of the hole. Then continue drilling until the hole reaches the proper depth. Keeping the auger vertical and steady helps create a clean, even hole that's ideal for planting. Once you lift the auger out, you'll usually have a nice pile of loose soil beside the hole, which is perfect because you'll need that same soil when placing the tree. Alright, you've drilled the hole, the soil is ready, and now comes one of the most important moments in the whole planting process, placing the tree. This step might look simple, but small mistakes here can affect how the tree grows for years. Start by gently lowering the tree into the hole and positioning it so it stands straight. The base of the trunk, where the roots begin to spread, should sit level with the surrounding ground. This area is often called the root flare, and it should remain visible once the tree is planted. If the tree sits too low in the hole, the trunk can end up buried by soil. Over time, that can create moisture problems and stress the tree.
If the hole ended up slightly too deep, simply add some of the removed soil back into the bottom until the height looks right. Before filling the hole completely, step back for a moment and check the tree from different angles. Making sure it's straight now is much easier than fixing it later. Once the position looks good, you're ready for the next step, refilling the soil around the roots. Now we start filling the hole back in. Use the same soil that came out of the hole when the auger drilled it. This is often called native soil, and in many cases, trees adapt better when planted back into the natural soil from the area. Add soil gradually around the root ball, gently pressing it down with your hands to remove large air pockets. The goal is to make the soil firm enough to support the tree, but not so compact that roots struggle to grow through it. Sometimes gardeners like to add compost or organic matter to the soil. That can be helpful in certain conditions, but it's usually best not to dramatically change the soil composition right around the roots. When the soil is filled to ground level, form a small circular ridge of soil around the base of the tree. This simple ring helps hold water near the roots when you irrigate. At this point, the tree should be standing upright and stable. And honestly, when you step back and look at a freshly planted tree sitting perfectly in place, there's something pretty satisfying about it. But we're not quite finished yet. The final step helps the tree settle into its new home. The last step might seem simple, but it's incredibly important for helping the tree establish healthy roots. Right after planting, give the tree a deep watering. This does two important things. First, the water helps the soil settle naturally around the roots, eliminating small air pockets that might remain in the hole. Second, it provides moisture that the tree needs to recover from the stress of transplanting. Young trees often need consistent watering during their first growing season, while their roots spread into the surrounding soil. Adding a layer of organic mulch around the base can also be helpful. Mulch helps retain soil moisture and can reduce competition from weeds. Just remember to keep mulch a few inches away from the trunk so moisture doesn't build up directly against the bark. And that's it. Using an earth auger the right way allows you to plant trees quickly, efficiently, and with consistent planting depth. When done properly, the process saves time while still giving each tree the best chance to grow strong and healthy. And years from now, when those trees are tall and thriving, it's pretty amazing to think they all started with one simple drilled hole in the ground. So, that's the simple process. With the right technique, an earth auger can turn a job that normally takes hours into something you can finish in a short afternoon while still giving every tree the strong start it deserves. And honestly, planting trees is one of those things that keeps giving back year after year. Shade, cleaner air, better soil, it all starts with that one hole in the ground. If you found this helpful and want more simple, practical gardening guides like this, make sure you subscribe to The Garden Sage. We share easy ways to grow a better garden without making things complicated. And now I'm curious, how many trees are you planning to plant this season?